Yeah, hi Fenly, thank you for having me. At the bourse today, we actually saw the index slip a little bit at 1% and a quarter, closing at 22,372.66 points. On the bourse, we had a total of 47 losers and 18 gainers. Saw the market actually losing from the marginal gains that were recorded last week, and closing up down a bit above 1%. Fairly on the market, we expect this trend will continue for the start of the week, and we'll begin to see a little bit of stocks looking good for investors to pick up, and we expect a reversal to come in towards the end of the week on the bourse.
Now, Nwabueze, give us some insight into why the bourse is showing losses today.
Well, Fenly, I really don't have the full details of the bourse. I can give a summary of how it happened, but basically on the general take, we'll say basically you have profit takers coming into the market. We've seen the bourse actually doing some marginal gains last week, and typical of this cycle of a periodic cycle that we observe over the past few period on the bourse, we expect profit taking to have come into the market, and that's largely I think has driven the market this low.
All right, let's move on to the interbank market. What is the interest rates like on the interbank market with the stimulus package coming in?
Finally, in the interbank market, you see the rates on the single digits range. Basically, you find your shorter tenor markets rates, overnight, 7 days, and the call monies in the single digits rate. Mostly banks will price funds based on what the central bank lending deposit rate is. Banks have an alternative of either lending among themselves or taking the money over to the central bank for overnight funds. So you see market always trending close to like 4%, a bit above 4% as the tenor increases out of 1 day. But basically the market is on the single digits, and would expect this to continue for most part of the month, even steady a bit. We'll say for the next 2 to 3 months you see the market at this level, Fenly.
Is liquidity still of a concern there?
No, right now the market is actually full with liquidity. Nothing major would come in to mop up the funds and the liquidity in the market. So we expect the liquidity to continue for a while. Like I said earlier, a little bit above 1 into 2 months, you expect to see liquidity here still in the market, and we expect to see the interest rates still at these levels, Fenly.
And give us an outlook for the currency.
On the currency side, we actually see the Naira losing grants today, basically on the back of today being the CBN auction. People are speculating, or rather the general trend expectation is that the Naira will lose some ground at the CBN window, and as a result the Naira on the interbank market will trade consequently if that happens. So we actually saw the Naira losing some ground, getting onto highs of 152.20.30 in the interbank market midday trading, but actually closing almost at 151.50.60 levels. This basically, like I said, is on the back of the auction. We've seen for most of last week the Naira at the interbank market almost being at par with what the central bank is doing. We expect that people market generally just priced the expected rates of the CBN auction today, and as a result the market actually traded accordingly on those levels. I would await what the market would do today, what the central bank would do today, to know exactly where the Naira will trade. On a general trend, if there's going to be any depreciation again, it's going to be a slight depreciation based on what the central bank would do, but not really so much of a sharp movement that was seen today.